have you been all my life? Where have you been, Mr. Guest? Welcome. Good morning. Answered by Guest. I'm here. It's going to be quite a, excuse me while I tap my can here. It's going to be a truncated show today. A little bit of vocab for you. Truncated show. Had trouble getting into the program, figured things out. I got a bunch of stuff to do before I got on here, a bunch of stuff to do once I'm done. So, welcome. We got one person here, a couple people here. Hello. Good morning. Hopefully, you're still alive. This is the beginning of the end. It's do or die, win or be in big trouble. This week, we're going to talk about the 4 games that have already been played briefly and talk about the 12 games coming up. There's no buys this week, and I'm going to be looking at my phone quite often because you'll see when I get into the PowerPoint here, I just basically copy and pasted groups of 4 games. Just for time's sake and whatnot. So I don't have the spreads and all those things. So, and I don't have those memorized or even analyzed due to the long, awesome so far holiday weekend. So hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. If you're here, please leave a comment. It helps things. And plus, I like to say hello to you personally. So it's week 13. We're here, and I know for me, in one of my 4 leagues, I got to win, or I think next week will be relatively meaningless. And many of you are probably in the same position, so it's going to be: do I cross that line and throw a Hail Mary, or do I play it safe? And sometimes safe isn't even safe, as we've seen all year. So let's talk about things. I had to stretch things out so it looks a little ridiculous, but let's take a look. My Packers beat the Lions. That's twice this year. We got the Bears next week. I'm hoping Matthew Golden comes back. I'm worried that the game by Dontavian Wicks will be overplayed by a lot of people. However, the Bears is going to be a nice, easy matchup, hypothetically. I mean, kind of, regardless. So that'll be good to see where they go amongst their 12 wide receivers that they throw to, with Savion Williams being out. Jaden Reed still not back. Matthew Golden, they held him out of this game on the short week. I think he's going to come back next week. And it's just going to be another notch down for Dontavian. And, you know, Dobbs was good. Watson was good. And Dontavian had the best game of them all. But it's a carousel. It's going to be. It has been. So when we get to it, if I'm able to, and I am trying to, and I know nobody's watching right now, but somebody will watch this back later, and there's somebody who pops in. I'm trying to do the Tuesday shows and the Sunday shows. And it's not like it's difficult. It's just other things going on. But if I do the Tuesday show, which is the waiver wire show, the halftime adjustments, I feel like one of 2 things. 2 things are going to happen. One, everybody automatically Thursday after that first game, we're like, oh, I should have played Dontavian Wicks. I got to grab him next week. And today is going to come and go, and a lot of people are going to forget about it, which is probably not a bad thing. But just keep in mind that Golden might be back, and I know he's been underwhelming, but Reed will be back soon. And next week is the end of the line. So Dontavian Wicks, relatively risky. He's had games, and then he's disappears because it's somebody else. So it's tough with the Packers. The Lions, JMO was all right, and with no Amon-Ra, we'll have to see how that goes. that could bump him up some. And Tesla's been hurt here or there, so it's going to be tough for the Lions. And the Lions play the other winner next week, the Cowboys. And this is 2 weeks in a row. I had said the Cowboys were going to beat Philly. And really, they were down 21-0 against Philly, and it shouldn't even been that bad. I wasn't able to come on last Tuesday, but I would have talked about it like that. The dude blocked the punt. I mean, he didn't block it, but he got a finger on it. Should have never been a penalty. A couple things. Not getting it on fourth down, going for it instead of kicking a field goal, missing a field goal that they do take. So Philly was really lucky to be even up 21-0. Philly's got issues. We'll get to them in a minute. But and I said that the Cowboys were going to beat the Chiefs too. I liked the Chiefs last week against the Colts. They had to come back as well. The Chiefs are in trouble. And I think the Eagles, they got the record to be fine, but they're a little bit in trouble because Saquon's not in. And I don't know why. And I'm just going to jump and talk about that game. I don't know why the Eagles, and I've been saying this since, probably the first quarter of the season, week 4 or so. You traded for Tank Bigsby. Anytime Tank Bigsby's been in the game, he produces an insane rate. And Saquon's not doing it. The Bears in this game smoked the Eagles, and I know it looks close, 9 points, but they did it on the back of 2 running backs. When Swift was a little hurt, they put Monangai in there. Monangai, or not hurt, tired. And they used them both, and they both went like 130 yards, touchdowns. Why don't the Eagles do the same thing? And I talked about this a couple weeks ago with these teams deploying these 2 running back systems, how it stinks, right? It stinks because they eat into each other, but it benefits the NFL teams. And the Eagles just refuse to do that. For Tank Bigsby to not get a single carry when every time he touches the ball, it seems like he's getting 9 yards or more. And Saquon finished the game with like 50 yards or something, meaningless yards. They got to start using them because the Bears won that game because they used both running backs. And Swift was a little tired. They put Monangai in there. He ran all over him. They put Swift back in. He runs all over him. They put Monangai to finish it off. And it's like, the Eagles, you could have done this. You could be doing this right now. I don't understand it. I know that they're using other running back here or there, but Tank Bigsby's that dude. And the Bengals, Joe Burrow came back. The Bengals defense played out of their mind. And that was just what getting your guy back does for your team. That one I was a bit surprised on. I thought it would be close. Did not think the Bengals would win. And I thought the Bears game would be close, but I thought the Eagles win would. I thought there was a little bit more of my heart. But regardless, on to, today's games. Saints and Dolphins. Do you know that over the last 5 weeks, the Dolphins have been really good against the run? They've been terrible against the run this entire year. Over the past 5 weeks, I think that they are, I would say, top 5 or 6 in the league against the run. The defense has really picked it up. No Kamara in this one, so Devin Neal is a fine play this week because he catches a ton of passes already, and that was Kamara's life, right? That was his life force, catching passes. If Tyler Show will check him down passes like he did last week, I think he caught 5. They'll be just fine. I still absolutely love this kid. He didn't look that great last week. I think that what the Saints do, what they've done for the past few years with Taysom Hill, I think that is something that Show had a little bit of trouble with last week. He'd get into a groove. Hill would come in. Hill would have a pass play. Hill would have a run play. And Shuck has to come back into the game. And for a young quarterback who's an old quarterback, but a rookie quarterback, feel like that took a little bit of time to get used to, got a little better as the game started going on. They threw the ball to Vele. Finally, you traded for him in the offseason, and you need a second wide receiver. This one, I mean, Waddle, Achane, you have to play. Olave, I still think you have to play, even though the Dolphins defense been playing better. I love this Tyler Shuck. I love him. And I just like his demeanor, his footwork, his arm. And I think that if he finishes the season strongly, which I think today he could have a good day passing the ball, I think that he could be their starter going into next season. I really feel that way. I think they may have found something, and we'll see if a couple other quarterbacks fit into that mold as well. Neal is a fine play. What's up, Sean? I appreciate the comment. Throw that up on the board real quick. Would you play Neal over either Judkins or Bucky? No, I'm playing Judkins. You see that game on the bottom of the screen. Bucky's going to be a little bit risky coming back. They're not going to try and overuse him because Tucker has been playing so well, and they have White. And they're positioned to get into the playoffs as of right now. It's going to be tough with the Panthers. If the Panthers, they got a really tough game coming up. But Judkins is the play at home against the 49ers. We'll talk about that game. It's fourth on the screen, but why not? It's going to be really windy and really rainy there. The rain is whatever. I'm never truly concerned too much with wide receivers as far as getting open. Footing is a problem. They adjust the cleats, obviously give them longer cleats for the defense. Because they don't know the routes. But the Browns are going to go into this game looking to run the ball. And the 49ers, you'll be able to run on them. I like Shedeur as well. If he's a pocket passer, that's what he is. He's not really a running guy. Is he the most accurate quarterback? No. But he's learning and he'll get better. And I think him, the same as Shuck for the Saints, I think if he plays well at the end of the season, I think they have finally found a quarterback. There's a lot of haters for Shedeur, and with good reason, for lack of a better opinion, let's say. But I think that if he can mature and focus on the game, which they're saying that he has been, the Browns may have found something. I don't think Dillon Gabriel's it, but Shedeur lifted up that team just a little bit last week. And at home, in the wind, in the rain, this will be a big test. Dude played at Colorado, though. The weather was tough there. And I feel like the 49ers got away with one a little bit last week. They played well, but Purdy did not. They got the win. Ricky Pearsall, he's going to have a big game. But not this one. Not in the wind and the rain. I don't see it happening. I'm benching him this week. I'm benching him for somebody I'll talk about when we get to that game. But he's the downfield guy. And Purdy was off downfield last game. I think 2 of his interceptions were when he was targeting Pearsall. And one of them came in the end zone. So he's going to get red zone targets. He's their downfield guy. He's a little bit of a possession guy, but that's more Jennings right now because they're sort of keeping Pearsall out of harm's way, trying to keep him healthy. This is just going to be a weather game where if you're not CMC and you're not Judkins, I think I would sort of just stay away. I don't really care too much about rain, but it's the wind. The wind is going to be an issue. Short, quick passes, sure. Those guys will be fine. If you don't have better options, okay, you got to do what you got to do. But that one's going to be a nasty outdoor game in Cleveland. Texans and the Colts. I mean, years ago I said it on the show, and it's been true ever since, really. And I would say Matt Schaub days, which I think was the beginning of the Colts, if I'm not mistaken. or the Colts, the Texans. They've always been my favorite AFC team, my second favorite team. For whatever weird reason, root for the underdog. I loved Andre Johnson in college for the Hurricanes, and when he went there, I was just like, yeah, this dude, I like this team. Brand new team, they stink. Why not? And the beginning of the season, I said their defense was a 5-guy for your eye, and now they're the number 1 defense in the league. This one's going to be a very tough game. Daniel Jones is going to play better in Indianapolis, Indiana Jones. But I really like Higgins. I think each and every week he's getting more and more involved. I think this one with CJ Stroud being back is going to be interesting to watch. Can he do as good or better than Davis Mills has been doing? Mills started off looking really good. Past 2 weeks was a little sort of off. Got into a groove the last game that they played in the second half, and the offense was just rip-roaring because the defense was dominating. Defense is going to have a tougher game in this one, but I'm not scared of them. I am actually still using them in the league. I think Daniel Jones will make a mistake or two here or there. They can cause some turnovers. I'm not shying away from really any players in this one except for the Colts wide receivers. Pittman will be fine. Pierce will be fine. If you like Josh Downs, he'll probably be fine. They'll be able to move the ball because Taylor will be able to move the ball, but I think it's going to be at a lesser rate than what we've seen just because of the defense there. So if you have a better option, I'm sort of against those Colts. Now, the Colts defense, I've said it all year long, is much better at home as well. That's why everything with Higgins and with Collins, and although he didn't really target them too much this year, Schultz, these guys, a lot of it is going to depend on Stroud. How good is Stroud going to play? We've seen Stroud at his worst. Their offensive line is still not great. Somehow Davis Mills was able to get the ball out quick and find the open guy quickly and make those guys valuable for us. Stroud's had trouble with that when he was healthy. So that's going to be what I'm looking at today is, can Stroud do what Davis Mills has done the past 3 or so weeks, as good or better? And I'm hoping it's better. I feel like this one has the potential to be a nice back and forth, relatively high scoring with some short fields type of game. So I'm not really shying away from the offensive guys. It's all about your options. And that's what fantasy is, right? Fantasy is all about your options. It's like, Chris Rock used to talk about Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich, right? And Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. Newt Gingrich, nobody's trying to smoke a cigar with him. It's all about your options, right? Nobody's trying to do it. So if you got better options than the Colts and the Texans guys, consider them. But you probably don't. And the Falcons and the Jets, sorry, Sean, Jets fan, and I know you're here, so I'm singling you out. I'm still not a Taylor guy, but man, they found one, and I told you that they found one, and I said it when the Eagles got him. John Mechie, the Eagles failed by not using him as the Jets are using him in the slot, a guy that can get deep, and they're doing it with Mechie, and it took a week or two, a target here, a couple targets there. But he's that dude, and I really think it's probably not going to happen this week season. They tried, and obviously no good. But next year with Garrett Wilson and Mechie, if they could just get a quarterback and stick with a quarterback, because the Fields thing, as much as I feel like he got a raw deal, he didn't play great, and Tyrod Taylor's not the answer for the future. So. Get a good quarterback, trade for one, do something along those lines. I just want to look here at this line, which I don't even see. Why is there no line for this game? Oh, there we go. That's why, because you have to actually look at the game. So the Falcons -3. Falcons on the road. I know, and I'm worried about that. I see Darko's comment. I'm gonna throw it up there. It's Taysom Hill week. I'm worried about that, and that's another reason why I'm sort of worried about Neal, because Neal's going to catch passes, but we know whenever they get close, he's either running, throwing, or catching. They're using Taysom Hill, and he's been sort of scratching at the door, right? A little bit more playing time, a little bit more. We haven't seen it. And it's always when nobody even wants to go near him that he pops off for one of those 40-point weeks. And with the matchup against the Dolphins, although, like I said, they've been like top 5 against the run the past 6 weeks or so, 5-6 weeks. So we had been looking at them as one of the worst rush defenses. They've actually been better, a lot better than people realize. I was looking at it and I couldn't believe it. But Taysom Hill's another animal, and I feel the same sort of thing happening. But the Falcons and the Jets, Bijan, can you please stop getting vultured? Obviously, got to run them out there. Is London back this week? That was one thing that I was supposed to be looking at last night, so forgive me for that. Last night was a crazy night. I'll tell you a story in a second. Yeah, he's still out. Thought so. Well, they actually called him out a couple days ago. All right. Yeah, he's going to be out, looks like. So, have you watched, does anybody like serial killer shows? Like the Jeffrey Dahmer one that was on Netflix, and then the Ed Gein one. And I know that they did a Melendez Brothers one, which I still haven't watched. And I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. But have you watched the John Wayne Gacy one, which I think was on Peacock? If you liked those other two, the Ed Gein and Jeffrey Dahmer one, which, by the way, I've been told, and I agree, that I sound like Jeffrey Dahmer, and that's okay. Well, the guy that played him anyway, and that's okay. It is what it is. You can't do much. But the John Wayne Gacy one I thought was incredible. It's much different than the other ones. It's not about the shock and the blood and the killing and the stuff like that. They don't even really focus on that. It's a storytelling. It's really good if you like that sort of thing. If not, back to business. Bijan, you obviously got to run him out there. John Mechie, I think, is a great play because the Falcons' defense can be beat. But he's more of a wide receiver 3 flex. And I'm telling you, if you grabbed him in dynasty leagues, like I had mentioned, I think next year is going to be a really nice PPR year for John Mechie. He just needed this opportunity. He couldn't fit in with the Texans anymore. It would have happened last year if Stroud was at all accurate last year, which he was absolutely terrible. I always will go back to last Halloween. How many times he missed how many times he missed John Mechie in the Halloween game last year, 2024. I feel like that is what ruined him in Houston, but they got something out of him, and the Eagles just did nothing with him. The Jets are using him correctly. He's a beast. He's going to be great. He was a beast at Alabama. He's finally getting a shot. So on to the next one. Let's see. Rams and Panthers. This one I'm the most interested against for. My heart hopes the Panthers win this one. Listen, look deep inside yourself, right? The NFL. Who's the best team in football right now, right? The Rams. So in your heart of hearts, you could see it happening, right? Because the NFL pulls these things all the time where the Rams are flying high. They're Super Bowl champs already. They've already won it. Why even play the rest of the season? The Panthers, the lowly Panthers, they suck, right? They play each other. It's in Carolina. Somehow, some way, the Panthers pull off a victory. In my heart, I want it to happen. In my head, highly unlikely. So we'll see. But you're not sitting anybody that matters in that game. On to the next one. Jags, Titans. Titans offense sort of looked better last week. Cam Ward, passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. We'll see. Brian Thomas back this week. We'll see how he fits in with Jakobi Meyers, who's been playing extremely well. It's interesting when a team gets a guy with some ability and then they use him, as they should, with a quarterback who's slightly above average at worst. What can happen? And it's looked pretty good. Parker Washington. So now they got a nice 3-man band there. And going against the Titans defense, Titans play better at home. Plus, it's a division game. We'll see. But I don't think that there's really, I mean, you could go into the DK, Shabir DK for the Titans. I don't think I would. I think I would stay away from all the Titans. The Jaguars defense looks good. Is a good matchup in this one, but I don't mind Jakobi Meyers. I recommended him to Antonio. I recommended the Jaguars defense to Antonio. I think it was this morning. But Brian Thomas coming back, as terrible as he's been, is going to take just a little bit away, or he's just going to add a little bit to him. But if I'm the Titans, I'm focusing on Jakobi because Jacoby's been killing it in Parker. So I feel like a little will be taken away from Brian Thomas. You might see him splash in this one. But all three of those guys were the shot. Cardinals, Bucks, Brissett, going to get another start. Trey Benson still out. Marvin Harrison will be back. That should take a little bit away from what Michael Wilson's been doing, although we like it. Bucky will be back. It would be amazing if McMillan or Evans could ever do anything for the Bucks. But you just got to continue to go with Egbuka. And I don't know. Let's see what this guy thinks. What do you think?
Great question. What game are we on?
I was talking about the Cardinals and the Bucks.
Bucks. I would say probably your best choices there would be Egbuka. I don't know if you said that or not. Running wise, I don't know, man. I'm trying to stay away from them. I don't know what's going to happen in that situation. You don't know who's going to be getting the ball. If all three of them are going to go, I think it's going to go with the hot hand. On the Cardinals side, I'm playing Michael Wilson. I think you were down on him a little bit the last time you were live and stuff like that. Does he do the same thing? The fact that the offensive coordinator is saying that even if MHJ is back, I'm still getting Michael Wilson the ball. That means a lot. That means that he's started to trust him a lot. And he's become like that Alec Pierce almost in a way with Indiana, where he just reliable when he's there kind of deal. So Baker I'm worried about. On that side, if he gets hurt again, starting Baker would be a tough situation, even though it's a good matchup. Cardinals defense isn't the greatest. They played it's what did we say, the ebbs and flows, right? Pretty much of how their defense is playing. So if I'm looking at it, if I'm a Baker owner, I'm probably looking for another option as a just in case. But it's week 13. Holy moly. Like, I don't know who else would be out there. And if it's me, I'm strategizing and I've picked up already all the quarterbacks that you're playing against, or if you're playing against me, especially if you have Baker. So,
yeah. Did everybody say, hey, Rob, welcome. We miss you. Nobody said it.
Nobody. It's all right. All right.
I agree with everything you said. I said a little bit of what you said. Yeah, the Bucks running back situation. I mean, Bucky's back, but do I trust him? Yeah. I do trust him, but Taylor's been doing all right. White is still going to be in the mix a little bit, so you're not getting a full-fledged thing. The Cardinals' defense hasn't been terrible. They haven't been amazing, but they've shown up. And if they look to stop the run, because they know that Baker's hurt, I mean, that's going to hurt us both. It's going to be like, make Baker beat us. Because Baker's really only got Tez Johnson. Cade Otton looks terrible. Which means he'll probably be amazing this week now that I say it. But he looks like a Stonehenge man running around. He looks fatter than me. running out there. Yeah, so it's you got Tez Johnson, you got Ibuka. So if you slow those guys down on the outside and stack a box to get the run, I mean, it's just going to make things tough. So the Buck situation's tough. I'd wait on Bucky. They are at home, and the Cardinals. Yeah, Michael. Listen, Rob. How many years ago was he a rookie? 3 years ago, and we absolutely loved him, and they just would never use him, and it was always Dortch. Right, who's still doing fine? Who I even recommended to Antonio this week based on his option. But you might as well.
Yeah. Brissett's throwing the ball enough that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could start any Cardinals receiver.
Yeah, and it always seemed like they were just finding a random guy to throw to. And we're like, why aren't you using Michael Wilson? And then, 2 weeks ago, out of necessity, they had to, and now he's had 2 really good weeks in a row. But I agree. Yeah. Like especially against the Bucs defense, and because Brissett's throwing the ball like that, yeah. So on to your Vikings, your second favorite team, and Seahawks, and then we'll get into these.
I wanted them to start Boyle.
Interesting.
I would rather them have started Boyle than go with Brosmer, right? Is that how you say it?
See, I
have so many questions about people asking me, should I start JJ this week? Should I start JJ this week? I'm like, I'm not. I benched him, but I have the luck of having CeeDee Lamb and Jackson Smith and Jigma in one league, so I don't need to start him. But it's like, can you start him? Like, can you start any wide receiver? I the only person I could see is tight end. Like, is this finally somewhere where we see tight ends get more involved? But what tight end is it going to? They use 4. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. I have such a love for the Vikings. I don't trust them, especially against the Seattle's defense that is top notch. They play to win every single game. I think they're going to destroy Brosmer, to be honest with you.
Yeah. See, I am of the opposite party.
Really? Oh no.
And again, this is like the 3rd time this week, today, where it's like I'm going with my heart a little bit, but I'm also with my head a little bit. Here's why. One, reverse revenge game for Darnold, right? Playing against his team from last year. Coaches know him. They know his ins. They know his outs, right?
Okay.
So they might be able to do some things that the Vikings defense hasn't really been able to do over the past few weeks because they understand what Darnold may or may not do. So it's, to me, it's, can you contain Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Yeah,
because their running back situation's an absolute mess.
It always is.
So let's focus on containing JSN. Now, that's 1. 2, so if you can do that and do so successfully, their defense has been terrible for the Vikings. Now, you're playing against the 12th man, so that's always going to be tough in Seattle as well. But the Vikings defense have been terrible. So if the defense can help the offense a little bit, is Max Brosmer going to be worse than J.J. McCarthy has been? I don't think so.
I could agree. But if that's the case, then for somebody like a Jefferson, he's been getting tons of targets, seeing tons of targets, which I'm always a target.
Inaccurate ones.
But it's horrible. Like, the ball's not even close. And it's like, I guess Jefferson's close enough. We'll give him a target. That's what I feel. So if we're comparing to that, I'm staying away from every Viking.
I think Max Brosmer, it's a very tough matchup, but I think that he is going to be light years better. Let's not say light years. Let's say exponentially. But I do like him, and that's the thing. You remember how much I loved him in the beginning of the year.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking my buddy Tom. Tom hates him.
But he's been terrible, and I can't back him anymore. He's been terrible. And so Brosmer will be better than him, without a doubt. He will also be better than Carson Wentz was. I guarantee you that. Brosmer, I looked at some of his clips. I don't watch college football, but I looked at some of his college clips. It looks very similar to a guy that went undrafted and that could manage a game, and that he's been compared to already by people before I say this. And if you know who I'm about to say, you put it in the comments. Brock Purdy reminds me a lot of him. Just somebody to come in, manage the game, can move it around a little bit, get a first down on the ground if he has to, read the field, throw to a nice short open guy, will take an occasional deep shot. Nothing spectacular, but a manager. McCarthy's been terrible. Wentz was terrible. I think he will play better than either of them have, which is why I recommended Justin Jefferson to our friend Antonio. Where did he say he was from before? Did he tell us? Italy? Spain?
Spain, maybe.
Okay.
España.
So I said that, and I'm gonna stick with it. I think Brosmer's gonna surprise. I picked Brosmer up in a dynasty league that I'm in. My quarterbacks are at the moment because Justin Fields, who's worthless, CJ Stroud, and Kyler Murray, who should just go play baseball. So I'm like, well, let me pick him up because he's the only guy. I'm not going to play him.
Yeah.
But
at least you have a backup.
But it reminded me of, I don't remember who it was. Somebody on here said FOMO, right? The fear of missing out with Dart early in the season. They missed out on Herbert years ago as a rookie. So I'm like, let me just pick this guy up because he's not going to be worse than those two. That's just the way I feel about it. They have been so bad that I think it's impossible to be worse than those two, even in Seattle. And I got a feeling some crazy things are going to happen today. Rob, before you came out, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers beat the Rams. Just because the Rams are everybody's Super Bowl champion already.
Oh, yeah.
And it just sets up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like how
Panthers have been playing pretty decent. Like, dude, Ted McMillan's he's a beast. You know how much I love him. I know you love him as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And the Rams defense has been outstanding. Don't get me wrong. But you're right. It's a setup game. And I could see them just being ran all over like a Rico Dowdle. He'll get another, 150-yard rushing kind of game. I could see what you're saying.
And they started using Chuba more last week as well. Finally getting him back into the fold. So if they do what the Bears did, what the Eagles should be doing with Tank Bigsby and use both, that's a good way to keep the Rams offense off the field. And the Panthers defense is a really good defense. And they're at home. If they could force Stafford into some mistakes, we could see it. So I'm going to throw this comment up here, Rob, because I was talking about those serial killer shows that I was telling you, the John Wayne Gacy one I really liked, and the Jeffrey Dahmer one. And I've been told that I sound just like the actor that played Jeffrey Dahmer in the show. So Sean says his fiance says I sound like Aaron Boone. So what do you think about that? Because you listen to Aaron Boone quite often. I don't ever.
So I am not a big Boone fan. So I'm a big fan of yours. So I'm going to disagree because then I wouldn't be able to listen to you and hear your advice. But I'm not going to lie. There are times that I'm watching the show at 2 times speed on YouTube.
Nice.
And I'm going to share that with you one day, and maybe I'll put it on a post for people to do. The amount – you sound like a chipmunk, but the flow is unbelievable because you do talk with a slower cadence and stuff like that. So having you sped up a little bit, you're like, oh, well, look, this is going to be like this. Then we're going to be like that. And then we're going to be but you know what? I think it's going to be like this. And then we're going to be like that. But then it'll hit like a high pitch, and then all of a sudden you're back again. It was it's so good. It's so good. But I would say I haven't seen the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. You told me about it. Sandy has, and she says it's not that far off.
Oh, all right.
With your voice, so
okay. Darko says Purdy. Yeah, I took Purdy out of my lineup, Rob. Or Taylor. And I think Taylor's probably a fine option. He's at home.
Here's a great question. Tyrod Taylor or Brosimer? Who would you rather start?
That is a great question.
So you're in a super flex league. You have those two guys. I mean, don't answer Dark goes first, but in
If
that
it
same
was
concept.
if it was super flex and it was the three of them, I think I would sit Purdy. I really do. I think it's
Okay.
going to be tough in the snow. Um, and the Browns defense at home. I know the Browns defense is a pass funnel, but when we have 26 to 36 mile per hour winds, that's not a pass funnel. That's impossible. So Brosmer or Taylor. Um, I'm a little worried. I think that Brosmer could have more volume. Because I feel like that Jets game with Kirk Cousins on the other side, I feel like things could be a little slower. A lot of Bijan, a lot of Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Taylor's not going to run much. Brosmer, I feel like, will do it if he has to, type of thing, like Purdy, like I said.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean towards Taylor, but I don't love it at all because John Mechie is really all I have faith in. Adonai Mitchell to me is terrible. He had a
He has
good
no
game, but
hands.
no hands at all. No hands, sometimes no feet. He just looks sloppy, like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing out there,
Yeah.
where he is on the field type of thing. And Brosmer's going to have tons of weapons at his disposal. So
Definitely a better wide
that's a
receiver.
really close one. I'm gonna go with Taylor here, so I'd probably go with Taylor there. And I don't love the Taylor thing. I just feel like he could have a little bit more success at home in fair weather.
I like it.
Yep. Rob,
What's up, brah?
what's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
All right, so we kept BTJ. So Pittman, Egbuka. Where'd you go, Rob? BTJ, pick one. You already had CD and Rice, so he's doing okay. Could use the upside. Which one you going with, Rob?
Ew. I can't trust BTJ, man. If it was me, I'm going Pittman just because of the target share. Ibuka's close, but you got to rely on Baker, who's banged up, and they're going to stack the box. So it's really going to be a big play I think you're going to get from Ibuka only. He'll see a little over routes, but Pittman I just think is the most consistent out of all these guys.
Yeah, I think I would play Egbuka, but I agree 100% with what Rob says. And I sort of feel like the Colts and Texans game could be back and forth, sort of high scoring. I had said that. I'm worried a little bit because of the Houston defense, but he's the most consistent. And if they get close, it's him. So I don't hate that as well. So it's about 50-50 for me because Egbuka's been here or there. And if Baker gets knocked out and it's Teddy Two Gloves, so
you got to think about it too, and I hate to say it this way also, but we know that Daniel Jones is playing with a fracture in his leg too. So God forbid something happens to him, you got Anthony Richardson. Who would you rather have, Teddy Bridgewater or Anthony Richardson? Like that's where it comes down to. At least Trevor Lawrence with BTJ, but BTJ is not the guy anymore. Like they don't look his way.
I feel like they'll look to get him involved a little bit today because he's been out and because I think he's going to be open because Myers has been playing so well and Parker Washington's been playing so well. A little bit less shade on his side of the field. But I'm still not trusting him over either of the other two. I'd go Pittman. You got a nice start with CD and Rice. Throw the baseline in there, and that's correct. Pittman. Yep. Hope you did too, Tim. Much love to you as well.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Let's see what Leon says. I have Puka and McConkey locked in. McMillan or Franklin for the third receiver. What do you think, Rob?
I like Troy Franklin, man. Shucks. I can't bet Tet. Tet's my guy. The amount of target share he gets with the Broncos, I feel like it's really Pat Bryant came on. Sutton's still there. I'm going McMillan. He's really their only option. Coker doesn't come close. I couldn't even name the third guy, to be honest with you. I haven't been football. Like yeah, okay. So I just think Tet's seeing double-digit targets every single week. I'm going Tet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look Tet as well, and then you get a Puka Tet in that game.
I know they're playing a tough defense, but
well, they're playing each other, so then you get them in that game where it's like, okay, no matter who has the ball, I got the top dog on both sides. Hopefully, Bryce Young plays some good things, and if Puka goes off, then at least you got Tet there who has to play catch up, and if it's I like the Panthers this game. I think that we're going to have some surprises today in these matchups. So, I mean, say what you want. We go back to the Thursday games, right? And the Friday game. I mean, say whatever you want. Those are some surprises, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought the Packers were going to win, but I was very nervous. I did pick the Cowboys to beat the Chiefs, but that's a surprise to many people. Did not think the Bengals were going to win, and I didn't think the Bears were going to win, even though as of late, they've been better. So that's 4 surprises, right, for Week 13 already.
Dude, I had the Eagles coming out whooping on the Bears, like they're not going to be able to move the ball. That's what I thought, especially after the loss that they got to the Cowboys. I'm like, these Eagles are going to come out hungry, and they're just not the same Eagles. It's like they look lost. I don't know.
I mean, they got their passing game going. A.J. Brown got going. The problem is Saquon, and they're not using Tank Bigsby, and I just don't understand it.
It's their offensive line, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen Jalen Hurts running more this year than I've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think that run game doesn't start. I mean, I was watching the game a little bit on Friday. Barkley's trying to hit holes that aren't there, that he knows in previous years were there. Yep. And he's just there. That push isn't there. I mean, there's just sometimes that I'm watching, and the Bears came out like, listen, I don't care if you're at home. We're the Bears now, and we're going to try to prove a point. I thought the Eagles were going to douse that out very quickly, and they just look bad. They look bad.
Yeah. I mean, look, you had one home team win.
Yeah.
And I go through this, and it's like Saints, Dolphins, whatever. But then I look here, and I'm like, Panthers. I don't think the Vikings can win, but I think Prosper's going to be okay. I really do. He can't be worse than the other two. On to these ones. Let's see what we got. Bills and Steelers. Bills need an offensive pass catcher. Kincaid, hopefully. What do you mean?
Who did they bring up again?
Like lately?
Davis.
Yeah.
And they signed Brandon Cook.
Yep. And Gabe Davis basically sent Keon Coleman to the bench, which is crazy.
He's so good too.
Well, here's the thing: you can't. There's nobody else on your team that you could deactivate to keep Keon Coleman in there and just have an extra guy that could catch the ball, because they're all vanilla Tootsie Rolls. Like, they're like boring, but they're kind of good. People want the chocolate, the OGs, and it's Kincaid needs to come back. He's going to be back more than likely. It's going to help. Aaron Rodgers is going to be back. But Aaron Rodgers hasn't been throwing the ball downfield, so it's been killing Calvin Austin, who last week when it was Mason Rudolph, Calvin Austin finally had a pretty decent game. DK is going to be playing. This one's a crazy one, because if the Steelers lose this one, they got helped out a little bit with the Ravens losing, but it puts them right back behind them. And if the Bills lose this one, they're in that 7 spot. They could fall out of playoffs, which is crazy. Run games for both teams. Warren, people are in love with Gainwell. They're in love with Gainwell. Gainwell's in love with scoring fantasy points. Caleb Johnson, remember that guy? I like Warren in this one. I think the Steelers look to run the ball a ton. They got 3 tight ends, so you can't trust any of them. DK's fine for me. And for the Bills, I would love to play Kincaid today if I had to. If you've been sitting on them, I think this is going to be a nice welcome back party. I think the Steelers against tight ends, I think you could do some good things against them. Josh Allen,
I took anytime touchdown with Kincaid today.
Yeah, I think that's back,
I took a kid. I usually am not a touchdown guy. I'm usually a receptions, receiving, rushing, receiving kind of guy. But I just feel like Kincaid, he could even have 2. Because you're right. Who else are they throwing it to? I think it opens up the offense a little bit, though.
Yep.
Knox is more of your blocker, where Kincaid is more of your catch passer. Pass catcher. There you go. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Kincaid has a touchdown today.
Chargers, Raiders. No Hampton. Vidal still the guy at home in a matchup where they should be able to dominate. If you have your app right now, if you want to, you go on Yahoo or whatever site you want to go on, go to Kimani Vidal and just look at his game breakdowns. A good game, a terrible game. A good game, a terrible game. A good game, a terrible game, bye week. So that's going to mess up his pattern. Or is it? Is he going to have a good game? Is he due for a good game, or did the bye week screw the whole thing up last week?
Good question.
It's really crazy. Like, look, he really good, really not good at all. Really good, not good. It's perfect. Boom, 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 boom. And he's up for a really good one. And I'd like him to have a really good one in this one against the Raiders at home. McConkey, I feel like the Chargers should be able to do what they want. The Geno Smith experiment is just about done. We're so close to it being over, Rob.
I know.
We're so close.
Dude, if he's flipping the bird to his fans at home, that's not a good sign, bro.
Yeah, we are so close to it being done. You have no other option other than to continue to play Brock Bowers. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of volume from the Raiders side. Even the Genty situation is going to be tough, but like you're going to have to continue to. The Chargers are looking to get back on track. They've been terrible. I feel like the past 2 games, they haven't looked good at all. Herbert's looked terrible. Now they had their bye week, so some time to rest and hopefully fix some things. And I think being at home they're just going to lay the smack on the Raiders in this one. I think Vidal is going to be a big part of it.
I'm going to go a little opposite here on you for the Raiders. I think they got rid of the offensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, this week, which usually charges up a team when there's a coaching change. I agree with you. I think Geno is not going to be the guy, but I think they rely on Genty a little bit more, especially against a Chargers defense that's supposed to be good, but I can see a little out routes or I could see little screenplays and stuff like that. Somebody I'm paying attention to is Thornton Jr. If you're looking for maybe reception +2, I know that I know it sounds crazy with a different.
No, it doesn't. It makes sense.
He's a big dude. Like,
why do they not use him or throw to him?
I don't get it.
Drives me nuts.
He doesn't have good hands. He reminds me a lot of who you were saying before, like Mitchell. He's a fast guy, way different body type, a fast guy but doesn't have the hands. If the times they have thrown to him have been bombs, and it's either slipped through or he'll be out of bounds or something like that.
Yep.
I'm taking +2 receptions on a Thornton today, just because I think with the new offensive coordinator, it's like we have this huge, big toy that I want to play with, and I'm going to make it happen against a Chargers defense that's going to look at Trey Tucker, that's going to look at Bowers, that's going to look at whoever the third guy is. Like, I think that Thornton may have, again, a couple receptions. Is it going to be a huge plays? No, but if he could break one, has that type of skill set. So just a outside scoop from inside the box here, So.
I love that call because we've been waiting on it all year, and maybe the coordinator switch will do it. But Pete Carroll loves his teddy bear, Tyler Lockett. Take him with him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, and that's okay.
They refuse to not throw to anybody else, no matter. So we'll see how that goes. And Trey Tucker continues to do Trey Tucker things, either really good or not really.
He's definitely an ebbs and flows guy.
So on to the Broncos Commanders. We sort of touched on. I agree with you 100% with Thornton, by the way. I think that's a great play to 2+ receptions. He escapes with probably 3 targets every game, sometimes 1 or 0 catches. But if they get him in better spaces, I think the volume is already there for 2 receptions today. And because I feel like the Chargers are going to be able to do whatever they want on offense, that will allow the Raiders to play catch up which he further feeds into that. So great call. Rob, I think you set up a nice parlay on this slide right here. Kincaid, anytime touchdown, Thornton, 2+ receptions. That's probably plus 550 in itself, right
in
there.
itself.
Just those two alone. So Broncos, Commanders, you talked about them. I'm loving on them. I picked them up in Fantasized Me, and I saw you picked them up in Dynasty shortly after.
Yes, sir.
So Pat Bryant, and I think coming off the bye, they found their slot receiver, and they don't love tight end too much, and their tight ends are always hurt as well. And I feel like Pat Bryant's going to be a nice guy over the middle for him, and the Commanders stink against the tight end or against the slot guy. So I'm sitting Pearsall and playing Pat Bryant this week. I made that decision last night as I was laying down watching the finale of John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise on Peacock. I said, you know what? I'm shooting for the moon here. I have to win this week or else I'm eliminated. I'm putting Pat Bryant in over Pearsall. The weather made it easy for me, but if he's out there for you, he was a 5 guy for your eye, I want to say back in like week 8, maybe 9 or 10, no later than that. I think it was week 8. And he's finally starting to get it. And they had the bye week, and hopefully it gets him more involved. We got Mariota on the other side. We got Scary Terry coming back.
Yeah. That's a big dude. Such a down year for Scary Terry. I totally like. People forget how good he is. Like him and Jaden Daniels were one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos last year. If you have 2 healthy guys, Commanders may have a totally different situation that they're in right now. But it is what it is. But I think you're right. I think that actually opens up for everybody else is because now you have to focus on McLaurin a little bit. But I'll let you keep on going.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. I think the Commanders being at home is going to help them in this one. They haven't really had any sort of signature type win, I feel like, or at least not in a while this season. It's been tough with Jaden hurt and Terry's been out pretty much, I feel like, since like week 3. And then they got the running back situation where Chris Rodriguez has taken over the job, but it's going to be tough against the Broncos. But I feel like being at home is going to help them. Zach Ertz and people like that are going to allow them to do some things. Mariota's not been terrible.
He hasn't.
He's actually even probably been a little better than Jaden Daniels was in the beginning of the season. Not Jaden Daniels last year, but Jaden Daniels this year. He's been all right. Have they been winning? No, but he's been okay. And I think that this will make a nice Sunday night game for us to check out a few things. Do they have they had a week 12 bye, right? So they're a week 14 bye last year, I think. And that's why I always think about that. They were a week 12
bye, correct.
Yeah.
No bye this week.
Right. So to give them this will give us a chance to maybe look at some extra options like a Jalen Lane, guys like that for the Commanders. And before that Sunday night game, here's my advice to anybody that's still listening to us blab on. If Pat Bryant is still available and you have some guys on your bench and they suck today, they don't play well, and you kind of are ready to put them on your 5 guys to despise list, pick up Pat Bryant before the Sunday night game. And if he goes off and does really good, you have him. If he doesn't, you don't have to win on waivers. It's a Sunday night game. You don't have to use him this week. But just going into next week and hopefully for you into the playoffs, he could be a nice guy to have if you're sitting on a bum on your bench somewhere. Monday night game, Patriots-Giants. Dart will be back. Am I correct?
He is. He's past concussion protocol. Seems like he's going to be the starter.
And Ramondre will be back as well. So it's going to be tough for Trevion. Listen, the Giants' defensive line is really good. Their defense is sneakily a really good defense. If this week goes as planned, I don't put it past the Giants to not win this game. I think that they could pull off an upset. The Giants always have the Patriots number, do they not?
They do.
Yeah, it was different quarterbacks. It was a different decade or decades, but they do for whatever reason they do, and it would not put it past the Giants winning this game with Mister Bologna on Wonder Bread with no mayo, just dry.
Dude, I started Tyrone Tracy over Hunt and Charbonnet. I'm like, you know what? I feel like even though Devin Singletary's, they're literally 50-50 split, it seems like. I can see Dart, I can see Singletary, and I can see Tracy having good run games because you don't know what they're going to do. Dart creates that other option. I think Dart's going to run less. They've gotten in his head that these concussion things and so on and so forth, even though I think he even said this week that only one time he went into the tent for concussion. Out of the other 3 times, it wasn't head related and so on and so forth until he got the concussion. So, but anyways, I on the Patriots side though, I don't know. For some reason, I've been looking at Mac Hollins or whatever Holland.
Of course, because every time he's on the field, he's getting the ball thrown to him.
And it's crazy is that I just think, like, again, if I'm doing a daily or something like that, I'm going to go 3 or 4 receptions for this guy because he just gets the ball enough and May spreads the ball enough to be able to, I think, hit that target easy. But it's just the Patriots, the run game situation. I agree with you. Going onto a Monday night, Stevenson did play a little last week, but I think now they know what they have in Stevenson. They know that against the Giants team, they're going to have to go against that front line, and Travion Henderson's not that guy. Stevenson is that guy. So I would kind of lay back. I agree with you on that as far as seeing what the split's going to look like. Henderson's been that guy, but I can see this being more of a run game situation that everybody's being used on both sides.
Yep. Yeah. And they're still using Jennings, and then Dearness goes to town.
Your favorite guy, Dearness.
So it's just, I'd stay away. Demario Douglas is going to be involved. Mac Hollins always gets the ball thrown to him, always has big games, especially when it's a big stage. And Monday Night Football is a Mac Hollins. That's like his coming out party.
He's taken over for Boutte since he was hurt. I mean, I know Boutte came back, but and Mac Hollins was out. Now you have both of them. I think he's taken over that role.
Yep. I like the Giants. I think to upset in this one. I think that
I think it'll be a close game, but
these top teams, a little bit of a hiccup today. I'm feeling at least one. I'm hoping I get 2. We'll see how it goes. So I think that is the last of that. So I'm going to remove that. That's all I sort of had. So we could bring this up. We got a couple of these in here.
All right. So just give you a heads up. It looks like we missed a question Chris had said. So I'm going to go back to before you sounding like Aaron Boone. Sean had a question. Would you play Neal over Judkins or Bucky?
Oh, was it this?
I don't know. Did you answer this one?
Yes, I said Judkins. Okay, I think it's this one he's talking about.
Would you stick with Baker in a SF league, standard format league?
Superflex.
I'm sorry?
Superflex.
Oh, Superflex. My bad. Superflex league, or would you grab Tyrod Taylor, Mariota, or Geno? My bad.
I mean, I'm not dropping Baker to pick up either of these guys. But if you want one for this week, I'd probably go Mariota out of the 3.
I would play Baker, in my opinion. I would just stick with him and hope for the best and hope he can make it through.
Yeah, I'm not dropping Baker for any of these guys at all. But if you got another bum you could drop somewhere. I think where we are is Tim.
Yeah. All right, I have 1 running back and 1 flex to fill. Vidal, Rico, Sutton, and Franklin. I really don't have a clue. Those are good. Those are interesting options, to be honest with you.
I'm going Vidal, and you know I'm going to go Sutton. I feel like it's been a while, and I feel like I like Pat Bryant today, and I think he opens up some things on the outside for Sutton once or twice. He's a red zone type of guy for Knicks. I'm definitely going Vidal. If you want to go 2 running backs, I'm fine with Vidal and Rico, but I was trying to get a wide receiver in there. Don't hate Franklin either. Franklin, to me, and I love him, and I know you like him, Rob, as well. He's like a guy that is verging on the cusp of becoming the ultimate ebb and flow guy as well. He could have really big games. He could disappear, have really low games. I'm fine with both running backs. If you want, Sutton would be my other play in the flex over Rico. But I don't mind Rico. It's just the matchup's tough. But if the Panthers have success, he'll be all right. They're starting to use Chuba more finally as well. But Vidal is definitely my running back this week.
Yeah, I'm always a running back guy. I would probably play the 2 running backs, but can't ignore Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
All right, pick 1.5 point. Olave, Sharp, Marvin Harrison, or Mechie. Olave with the back spasms. He's making me worried this week, man.
Yep. I'd probably go Mechie. I think he's their best wide receiver that they have right now.
He's been looking good, man.
Yeah. Each week, more and more and more.
Yeah. With Olave having the back problems, I'd probably go either Mechie or Sharp, to be honest with you. I think that it's going to be more of a running game. They're not going to have to throw as much. And like you were saying, they're going to try to stop Jackson Smith and Jigga, so I can see K9 and Sharp getting a lot of the burn. Olave makes me nervous, and then Harrison, Wilson coming on, you don't know what you're going to get. So,
yeah, I don't like the back spasms.
That can act up real quick in a game.
Real quick.
All right, Daniel, with another one here. Standard point, pick 1, Sharp or Devin Neal?
I talked about it early on, Rob. I think that was before you were in here. Neal looks like it's a smash spot, right, in our minds, and it's got that big green for Miami against running backs. But they've actually been top 5 over the past 5-6 weeks. And they were just so bad early on that the stats, this is how statistics can lie. But the recent ones say they're actually not too bad. And Darko had commented it, and I sort of feel the same way, that there hasn't really been that Taysom Hill type of explosion yet. So I worry about that. The Charbonnet, Minnesota's still relatively decent against the run. And he's sharing time more so than I think Neal is. I wish it was PPR. If this was PPR, I'd slam dunk, or even half point, I'd slam dunk Neal. But it's closer than you think, just because, or than that, because if New Orleans gets close, I'm really scared of Taysom Hill this week. We just haven't had that Taysom Hill explosion week. I'm gonna still go Neal, I think. What do you think, Rob?
I just talked up Sharp before. I'm a Sharp guy. I'm actually
Me too.
I'm playing Tracy over him, and I'm still back and forth a little bit, but damn standard. I hate the split. I know. At least Neal's going to be getting a brunt of the load. Ooh. Yeah, I think you have to go Neal, just because I think the splits, it's all going to be based on who's doing better for Walker and Sharp, where Neal should be that guy, and all you have to worry is about the goal line more. I feel like if they do get close with Taysom Hill, so Neal would probably be my answer on that one as well.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. I had missed the question above about Baker. I said go with Baker, and I think guest said the same, not to drop him, to go with the other guys.
I love the name here coming
Leon,
up.
you are quite welcome. All right. Fighting solves everything. That is a great name. Yeah. Wide receiver, start Tet or Franklin, then flex. Oh, start with that. Tet or Franklin?
Tet.
Agreed.
Guaranteed. Even in the tougher
flex
matchup.
One, Judkins, Marks, or the other wide receiver not starting.
I'm going Judkins in the muck, in the wind. Yeah. I feel like they lean on him. He can catch short passes if he needs to. If Shador's got to get it out, I'm going Judkins.
I would agree with that. I would go Judkins as well.
Home game. The Browns are going to win this one. They're going to beat the Niners.
Tim with the question here: Chargers D or New England defense?
Chargers I'm going Chargers.
Raiders, New England going against
the Chargers. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah. You know, I've been thinking about this all day. I have Chargers defense and I have Cleveland defense. You just mentioned the muck and all that stuff, them being home. That's usually better for the offense. We always said it throughout the years. The offense knows what they're doing compared to what the defense is, and so on and so forth. Last time I started the Los Angeles defense was against you in Fantasize Me, and they played Jacksonville, and I got a big old dud. And I lost that week, which would have given me an opportunity if I would have won to be able to try to make the playoffs now. But anyways, am I crazy for not playing against the Raiders, Los Angeles defense, or just sticking with Cleveland defense in the mucky of situations?
I feel like I'd play Cleveland if I
have them in.
At home, I really like them in this game with a ton of wind. The West Coast team coming to the East Coast, sunny San Francisco, and it's not quite the East, but it's kind of the East still. They're right next to us.
Yeah.
This is just going to be terrible conditions for them. And Cleveland defense always plays better at home. I like Shador to manage this game fine, and I think their defense is just going to – I would play the Browns over the Chargers. I would.
All right, Chris with one here. Aaron Jones or Judkins? Appreciate the help, brother.
Yeah, it's Judkins. I'm just, especially with the matchup, for Judkins, easy.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, I think they're going to have to rely on Jones with the rookie quarterback, but we'll see. Judkins would be my choice. Oh, where'd you go? All right, Darko. It's a 2 QB
I'm hiding.
week.
This one's on you.
Already played Hurts, Jaden Daniels, and Kyler Murray are hurt. Thought I was stacked at QB on draft day. Still in first for now. I picked up Taylor, but Brosmer, Young, and Shuck also available. I like Shuck's matchup, but Taysom Hill packages in the red zone scare me away. Would you change out Taylor for Brosmer, Young, or is it Shuck? Am I saying that right?
Shuck. I think it's Shuff. Like cough,
yeah,
Shoff, but it's Shuff. That makes no sense. Some people call him Shuck.
Yeah, I always pronounce it as Shuck,
which makes how? What?
No, I don't know. But I've heard people calling that on TV.
I know. Nothing makes sense with these rookies. Like Scatabo calls himself Scataboo. No, it's Bo. It's a O. It's a single O. These people. They're driving me nuts.
Got a Scataboo. So Taylor, Brosmer, Young, or Shuck.
I want it to be Young so bad. I think I'm psychopathic for this. I would go with Brosmer. I got a good feeling about him today.
Crazy.
I got a good.
I like you, but you're crazy.
I can't wait to see. I got a good feeling about him. Listen, Tyrod Taylor is the Wan'Dale Robinson of quarterbacks. Okay,
straight baloney,
but not even as good. Right? Not even as good. It's like Oscar Mayer baloney. It's not even deli fresh cut. Right? It's like you already bought it in a pre-packaged loaf. Tastes like what it is, and that's a cold hot dog. Disgusting. I don't even like hot dogs, but that's besides the point. I'm on tangent again. Brosmer's got the weapons. He's just got so much weapons, and I don't know. It's tough. It's on the road. I think the safest play is Taylor, without a doubt. He just has no weapons. He's disgustingly boring. Young would be who I'd probably go with if it was me, because he's at home. Even though the Rams defense is tough, I'd probably go with Young. But I do think that Brosmer could potentially have the best game out of all these guys, because I think as soon as he starts hitting Justin Jefferson on the numbers, Jefferson's going to have a fire in his butt, and just like get pumped up. Like, yeah, let's go. I just feel like something like that's going to happen.
All right. Dustin got one here. What's up, fellas? Pick 2, PPR, Waller, Michael Wilson, Keenan Allen, or Woody Marks. You are quite welcome.
Yeah, I feel like whenever Waller plays, he does the dang thing, right? But I'm going to go with Wilson and Woody.
Yeah. Full PPR. Yeah, I think Wilson definitely. And Woody has been catching it out of the back. Yeah, I would probably do the same.
I mean, Waller
Keenan Allen off the bye week may be interesting. He does get the little things, but you have so many people. Johnston, you have.
I don't think the Raiders are going to do enough on offense, and I like Vidal and I like McConkey today. I don't feel a need for him. I think Waller. The reason I'm not saying Waller and Wilson is as simple as Waller needs to finish the game.
Yeah.
And he's at the point of his career where he's either catching 2 or 3 touchdowns and winning you a week, or he's getting hurt in the second quarter. And you're like, I should have played Woody. And I'm just going to go with Woody in a game that I think is going to be a little more back and forth with the Colts. I think there's going to be some short fields. I think defenses are going to make some plays on both sides because the Colts are better at home. The Texans are the best in the league. So I'm just going to go with where the points are going to be, and that's where I'm going with those two.
All right. Tim with the question here. How are you feeling about Diggs on Monday?
Don't hate him at all. I mean, he is the most seasoned and, dare I say, the best wide receiver that the Patriots have. The problem is they spread the ball around, and Hunter Henry gets involved as well. Douglas is doing his thing, and with the other guys there. But I like him. It's all options, Tim. But I would not be afraid of him at all. He likes the big stage as well. Just like Mac Hollins, it feels like whenever a game is televised, it's like they do big things. So you got 2 guys doing big things on the same team. So hopefully one of them hits for you.
Drake May and him have an awesome relationship. It seems like too. They're constantly talking about each other in press conferences and stuff like that. We say that he spreads the ball a lot, but Diggs is obviously wide receiver 1, and they're gonna, I think, keep on feeding him the ball.
Yeah.
All right. Country Boy Jazz, what's up? All right, 12-man PPR, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Already played Mahomes, has CMC, Jones, Walker, Benson, and Rodriguez. Wide receivers are Olave, Diggs, Pierce, Jennings, Terry, and Godwin. And then tight ends are Barner and Waller. Defense are Rams and Bucks. So he wants you to start his lineup. He already played Mahomes.
All right, I'm going CMC and Rodriguez. I'm getting a little Sunday night magic there. Benson's out, by the way. Olave we talked about. We're a little worried about the back spasms, but you got to play 2 of them, and we need a flex somewhere. I don't hate Olave as a play. It's all about options. Jennings worries me with the weather. The wind is the problem. But out of those options, I'm going to go Diggs and Pierce. And I'm going to go Waller because I just have a feeling he's probably going to score a touchdown. I'm really worried about him finishing the game, but he probably should. Don't like the Bucks defense, so I'll go with the Rams. And for my flex, I'll throw Olave in there.
Yeah, I think Olave. You have to see what's going to happen with Terry, and Godwin just doesn't look like himself, especially with Baker banged up.
Yep.
All right, Hayland. All right, hey man, BTJ, Pearsall, or Debo?
See, I called him Haylandy on.
I didn't want to take a rest. I got Hayland.
He was with us, I think, last week. So welcome
Love
back.
the Jazz Chisholm picture, by the way. Go Yanks.
This is Pearsall I don't like today, which might come back and kick me in the butt. He's just a downfield guy, and it's just going to be bad weather. The BTJ coming back, I feel like he's going to be a little bit open. And Debo, I always worry about him finishing games. And Rob, I said it a few weeks ago, and this could come back and bite me. So I want to hear your call on this as well. But I think I'm going to go Debo and get a little Sunday night magic, hopefully. And hope that Terry takes a little bit away.
Yeah, that's what you have to hope for, is that Terry being on the field opens things up. I think it should. Debo's been used more as, I feel like, a wide receiver than he has been in the running situation or those clear outs to the side and do a little screenplay action. I think Terry helps that. Terry's a great blocker as well. So I think that helps it up. So Debo would probably be my choice here. I'm just not sold on BTJ. I know he's been hurt and stuff like that. They haven't looked his way a lot. They've got Myers for a reason. I think you even mentioned at the beginning of this year, Mac Jones is what made BTJ. You know, it's like it's a totally different game style with Lawrence. And Pearsall I'm staying away from just because I have to see it from him and the weather.
I will say that I do think Myers being there and Parker Washington finally emerging consistently, because he's done it in the past spotty. Yeah. He's a little more consistent. I do think that will help BTJ. But when even Travis Hunter was there with BTJ, he was leaning more towards Travis Hunter. So I don't hate BTJ. I'm interested to see if this is true. They are playing against the Titans, who played a little bit better last week. Cam Ward did, and it's in Tennessee. It's a division game. So a lot of the Jags offense is going to depend on, to me, Tennessee's offense.
Yeah.
And I like the Jags defense today. But if Tennessee's offense can do well, I think that ups all of the Jacksonville guys. But we don't have that luxury of seeing in the future.
Yeah, well, Cam Ward looked good last week too, man.
Yeah.
He actually played a decent game. That kid Dyke is pretty good, or DK. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. However
Dyke,
it's pronounced.
Dyke to me, but he's DK.
Sure. Yeah, but
it's it's like, the rookie pronunciation.
He looks solid, and
kids these days,
if they can they're not a horrible team. If you look at it, they've been close in a lot of games. They just don't have the edge. Cam Ward he puts up points. They're not consistent, but it's like, if they can find, this is a game. It's division. It's like, this is set up the same exact way we were thinking about. What was the other game? That's division game. That's going to be kind of weird. The Raiders Chargers, like that one. I know you're saying that. For me, I feel like that's going to be a lot closer than what people are thinking. I feel like that game for Jacksonville and for Tennessee is going to be very close as well. They play each other very well, it seems like, at least over the years. So, all right, I have to step away for a sec, so I'm going to set you up with this one, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Thanks for the help last weekend on Top 5 ATS. Thoughts this week?
But Daniel, they didn't do too well, did they? I feel like they were like 2-1 or 3-2 or 2-3. What was the record on those? Because I think I seem to remember being like, oh man, I was a little off, but if it helped, it helped. So you're welcome. But I mean, right off the bat, my favorite is the Browns. I think the Browns are going to win the game. And they're getting 5.5. You buy that half point, you get to 6. I don't think that they lose this game, first of all. And I don't see them losing by 6 by any means. The next one that I'm going to look at is 3-2. Okay, so not bad. Won you money. That's where you want to be. I mean, 60% in the long run win you money. I shoot for 67, 2 out of every 3. Let's get you there. I like the Browns. I'm going to take the over in the Houston and the Colts game. I like both offenses to do some things, and I like both defenses to create short fields. There's a potential for some defensive touchdowns with both of those teams. Division game. And I think 44.5 is a really good spot for that, and you buy that half point. I always get rid of the hook. I hate the hooks. I talked about this last week. I would rather, if I'm putting $100, right, and it's minus 110, that means you're spending 110 to win 100. I would rather spend 120 to win 100, lose the extra $10 if I lose, but have a chance to push. Because 44.5, if the game ends 24-20, you lose. But if you bought that half point, you push. It's worth $10 to me. It's worth the extra 10%. So Rob, he wants the top 5 against the spread. I gave him the Browns. I got them +6. I think they win the game. And right now I'm on number 2 for me. The Houston and Colts over 44. So now I'm just looking through these. I'm going to do it. I like the Panthers +10 at home. I like them +10 at home. I feel like anytime you can get a home dog in that 6 to 10 range, it's sort of that sweet spot. I think a lot of money is probably from Public Joe's, whatever it is going on the Rams. And I think the Panthers are a lot better than people realize. Not everybody, some people realize, but I think being at home is really going to help them. And the Rams are everybody's Super Bowl champ, as we've said a couple times throughout the show. So I'm going to say that the Panthers keep this one closer than 10 points. So that's 3 right there. Cardinals, Bucks. It would be my next one. I think the Cardinals play the Bucks tough enough. Bucks have not been playing very well as of late. I think this game could help them get right. With the Baker situation, we know he's the toughest dude out there. But I'm going to take the Cardinals, and they're +3.5 right now. I buy that to +4. I think that they could cover that. And last but not least, and Rob will not agree with this one, but I'm going to take the Chargers. They're -9.5, and I'm going to buy them to -9. I'm going to buy that hook. So there they are. I'll recap them for you. I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take the Houston Colts over. I'm going to take the Cardinals, the Panthers, and the Chargers. That's my top 5 against the spread for the week. Hopefully we can get you 4-1 at least. Let's win some money.
All right. All right, Darko with one here. I didn't hear your take, Rob. Purdy with CMC checkdowns, Taylor, Brosmer, Young, and Shuck. My bad, Darko. From my perspective, I'm benching Purdy, to be honest with you. But I have the luxury of Bo Nix. I'm going to go again with him against Washington. That weather just has me nervous. But we say the offense knows what they're doing. The defense doesn't. So if you can get a Kittle behind the defense, it's a lot of reliance, though, man, on the wind, because they're not going to be throwing
the wind.
That's what makes me nervous, man. I can't go with the Jet. I can't say Taylor because I just hate the Jets with all my heart and soul. Young would probably be my choice. I think they have to keep up with the Rams, and I think they could keep up, especially if they can get the run game going. So Young would be my choice. Purdy would be a very close second if you feel more comfortable playing with Purdy. I think CMC does well. I think Kittle has a good game as well. But I rather go Tet. I rather have the running backs and kind of go from there. Young would probably be my choice.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rob, 100%. Everything you said. The other thing that I think is going to happen in this one, we saw it sort of happen a little bit more over these past couple of weeks and a lot last week. Brian Robinson is getting a lot more playing time. And with the sloppy conditions, the Niners in playoff position, I see a little bit more Robinson today, because what we don't want if we're San Francisco is CMC to get hurt in this conditions. I feel like they think going into this one, we could take care of the Browns. And I think that they have a game plan set up to use a little bit more Robinson than they have before. It doesn't really affect this too much because Robinson could catch passes if he has to. but I don't think that it's going to be 1,000 targets for CMC this game. Nothing but. I think you're going to see the ground game with Robinson come into play quite a bit.
All right. Tim with one here. Good. I have Diggs and JSN in wide receiver spots. Vidal is in. Franklin and Sutton now is who it comes down to for me. I have until tonight for that decision at least. I think you had said go Sutton over Franklin, if I'm not mistaken.
For me, it's Sutton. I like Pat Bryant in this game in the slot. I think the Washington's terrible against the slot. And I feel like Sutton's been a little bit more quiet on the fantasy front than Franklin. Franklin's disappears from time to time. And I just feel like Sutton's going to get a touchdown in this one. And I'm not sure if Franklin will. He might. But I like Sutton just a little bit more.
All right. Daniel said 3 and 2. I'm assuming that's to the ATS for last week. And Jeremy, Pearsall, Woody, or Addison?
I like Woody in this one, but I'm going to go with Addison because I'm going Max Brosmer all the way, baby.
You have not changed your mind at all today.
So I'm
going Woody in the situation.
Woody is the safest of the three. But if I want to go balls to the wall with Max Brosmer, I'm going Addison. But I this is what I see. I see Brosmer hitting Jefferson in the numbers, and it's just pumping him up and be like, yes, finally a quarterback that can hit me accurately and just bringing so much life. And then Seattle just having to try and figure out what the heck am I going to do with Jefferson. And that's when Brosmer's going to be like, I got this other toy too.
Yeah.
Addison. I worry a little bit about Woody only because they refuse to let Chubb go to sleep behind the bar.
You leave him alone.
I know.
I still have him on my dynasty team, and I'm holding on tight. He was my guy. He was my guy.
Woody's the safest, the best floor. Addison, for me, is the highest ceiling.
And Pearsall with the weather, I couldn't trust that. No. Guess surprise! I was here.
Yay, a deeb. That's all, folks.
That is all, folks.
All right, 11
best of luck to you guys. Hey, me and you both, I need you to lose, to be honest with you, to give myself even a shot and fantasize me. But if I don't make it, I really hope you win so that you can make it and take the championship from those guys, and we'll go from there.
Well, here's what I need. I need to win, and then next week I will play against. We're talking fantasize me here. Yep. Is that what you're talking about?
Fantasize me, yep.
And then I play Chad next week, and I think that'll be for the final playoff spot. He came out of nowhere. He was like 0-4.
Yeah. I was 1-6, and now I'm 6-7 or something, or 6-6.
Yeah, both of you guys, you and Chad came out of nowhere.
You guys came back to life.
You guys are becoming the goats. You guys are the goats of that league. You guys keep winning it and fighting towards the top. So I'm just trying to fight you off with my foot.
The game against you a couple weeks ago, if I would have started Cleveland defense, I would have won, and I got cute, and I started Jacksonville. And since that day, I've been kicking myself in the ass like, guess always says I beat him. I think that's such a lie. I feel like in the biggest spots, you're like, here it is. Here's the carrot. Nope. Wait. Here's the carrot. You're going to bite it. Nope.
Well, this is it. This is the theme of the show, the beginning and the end. So,
100%.
Hopefully you all get your win. We need them. Every win helps. And what I really want to do, Rob, is, and I don't know if everybody will go for it, but this is a suggestion for everybody. I really want to set up, and Yahoo put it in this year as an option, that everybody plays 2 games. One game against your opponent, and the other game is against the league points.
Yep.
So, because how many times, and I'm sure that people that are watching would say that this happened to them a bunch. How many times it happened to you? I'm sure. You score, 160. Let's say that's a lot, right? Everybody's scoring is different. Well, 160, and your opponent scores 165. Everybody else in the league is in the 120s. And it's like, I lost. But really, you didn't lose. you beat everybody. You just didn't beat the one that you played. And
Yeah.
I feel like leagues should go into you play 2. 1, you have to just finish in the top half. 2, against your opponent. And that just gives everybody's teams who are scoring but happen to play the highest scoring team every single week a shot. So it's something I might throw out there next year. We'll see, because it was never an option.
For that.
It was never an option, and now Yahoo's putting that. They put that in this year, so
Yeah.
that's something to
I
think
have the
about.
second highest points in Fantasize Me right now, and I'm in 10th, 11th out of 14.
Right.
So it's all the luck of the draw, man. I think
that's not really fair.
Maybe 4 or 5 weeks I played against the top guy, and I was maybe third highest scoring, second highest scoring in the league. It just any given Sunday, brother.
That's it. All right, everybody, have a good day. Good luck. If you got questions, get them in by 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, please, because after that, I'm busy doing what I got to do. Good luck, Jeremy. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is Answers by Guess. I'm Guess. He's Rob. And hopefully today we're all winners.
Oh, yeah.